All right. Let's see if we're live. And if we're live and this works, then we can get started. So, let's also see how this camera angle's doing. The camera's a little on the high side. Kind of preferred it when it was lower. Let's see if I can lower this easily. Yoink. Is it possible? Or is this going to be a nightmare? Oh, that's a nightmare. Okay, so it's just not going to be straight. That's fine. It's 2019. Okay. So, let me turn off. Actually, I'm going to keep the AC on because it's fucking hot outside. Miss Sarah's here. How are you? Long time no see. Shanare! Failed to come to view this. Okay, so, today we are going to be fixing a MacBook, like we often do. But today, before we get started, I'm just going to start with the first sponsor that we have ever had. CircuitSpecialist.com. Circuit Specialist sent a CSI 3005P power supply for me to try out to replace the old Circuit Specialist power supply that I had and linked to. Now, one of the things that I've talked about is that I get countless useless trash sponsorship offers on an almost daily basis that I say no to because they're asking me to sponsor crappy data recovery software or garbage equipment or, shit soldering stations or shit digital microscopes, and I say no because it's not something that I use. The thing with Circuit Specialists is that this is actually a product that I have been linking to, and I have been linking to this product for the past about 3 years or so. So if you go over here, this is the power supply that I've been linking to in the description of my videos that I use. It is able to be read from a computer, so if you want to do the kind of streams that I do where you show stuff on stream, you can. It is pretty accurate, and above all, it's just, it hasn't ever broken in the several years that I've been using it, which is more than I could say for a lot of the other bench power supplies. And I've been linking to that for many years, and now they sent me one of these. It's actually been working pretty well. Paul is going to wind up doing a review on it soon. Anytime there's some sort of sponsored free stuff, I prefer to have Paul do the review because then it gets rid of the bias that I could have from getting free stuff that I can sell. And this is, I believe, the new version of the power supply that I was using here, the 2116A. This is the CSI 3005. And because I got this new power supply, I can go back to having this on the screen. So since I changed stations, I no longer have access to that power supply. I have this, so I didn't have the amperage reading on the screen. But now I can show you amperage readings on the screen again, so thank you very much, Circuit Specialists. I appreciate it. And I will be updating the link in my description to the new version. As you can see, the old version is actually more costly at this point. It's $150. It used to be maybe like $120. And this new version is $86.36, and it seems like a nice little upgrade. So, that being said, we are going to get started fixing a MacBook. Now that I've sold out entirely. Yes, I am a sellout. Lewis is a sellout. Evil, greedy bastard. Lewis got himself a free power supply. Free power supply. And we'll see if this power supply works or if it blows up this MacBook. Because, hey, you never know. This thing could be a piece of shit. You really never know. I like Circuit Specialists. They have a lot of really cool stuff on their website, but I am skeptical because I have terrible luck with everything. So this here is a MacBook. We are going to zoom in on this MacBook. What about buying newer MacBooks that have a board intact on eBay for the motherboards? What about it? What about it indeed? What about it indeed, my friend? Okay, so it looks like there's a couple of disgusting things inside this MacBook. The first disgusting thing that you may be able to spot here is that there's a fucking fingernail in it. Ew, you dirty, dirty bastard. Gross. That's a toenail clipping. Not even a finger. This is a fucking toenail clipping. What are you doing inside this MacBook? Ew. Ew. Fucking gross. Ah! Jesus! Why? Oh! You want to lose weight? Do MacBook repair. Your appetite will go out the window. Okay, so let's see what is wrong with this MacBook besides the dirty, dirty individual that sent it in for repair. Okay, where are you going? Look at the vents, or the lack of vents. How do you get a toenail in here? How does that fit through the keyboard or anything? Ew. 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 Oh, ew. Okay, so let's get our power supply set up to 18 volts. This power supply stuff comes with a nice little piece of control software over here that I'll show you. Control software. So let's hit start. And we can make the voltage go to, let's see, 18.5, which is MagSafe voltage. Bada bing, bada boom. Broke down waiting for a tow and watching Lewis. Sounds like somebody needs a bafang. Somebody needs a bafang. Okay, current amperage, let's see. We set this up to 5 or higher. Okay, and output on. Now we go to the desk camera. Now we hit this little button, and you'll be able to see how many amps it's taking. So I don't have to tell you anymore. You don't have to trust me innately when I tell you how many amps it's using, because you can see for yourself. Now, is output on or off right now? Okay, output was off. So it is taking 790 milliamps, as you can see, and it is turning on, but I see nothing on the screen. There's no question mark folder, there's no booting, there's no nothing. So, what do? Well, first thing we do is we get ourselves a strawberry banana protein drink. That did not sponsor me. It just tastes really effing good. Because you never know. This could just have a question mark folder or something. Strawberries and banana or cookies and cream? I'll try cookies and cream. Oh boy, this is good stuff. After you do 60 pull-ups in the park. Oh my. Oh boy. There'd be no war if everybody got to drink that. Okay. What were we talking about? What were we working on? I believe we were working on something. Ah, this piece of shit MacBook. Yes. So, nothing on the screen. So, let's take a look over at the motherboard and see what it looks like and see if there's anything that could potentially be causing our problems. We're going to zoom in on the board with this view. Everybody, please email hi@rossmangroup.com to try and get him to get a proper mount for the desk camera. The more you email him, the more likely he'll actually do it. Because I actually have to tighten this piece of shit now again. Yeah, this thing is... Let me get my Allen keys. Piece of shit desk camera. You piece of shit desk camera. No. Is here we go. Maybe this will work. Ah, this shit is terrible. Terrible. Everybody, please email hi@rossmangroup.com and bother him to make this better. He is the paid stream assistant. So he gets a salary for making shit like this suck less. Just Okay. That's about as good as we're going to get today. Okay, so this is what the board looks like. And we have a light on the screen at this point. And a flashing question mark. Wow. So there's really nothing actually wrong with this besides the operating system or SSD. Well, isn't that boring? And it also... lame. And it also seems like it's got a little bit of liquid damage in the battery over there. But that's not actually a problem for me to solve. That's not a board that I need to fix at component level. So we are going to take this and put this to the side because this one is boring. There's no board to fix here. Give me one moment and we move on to the next one. Much boring. I did not pick a good one. Do we have permission to spam him? Absolutely. HiHi actually gets paid to get spammed by all of you. Simply go to email hihi@rossmangroup.com. That's hihi@rossmangroup.com. He is paid to deal with your spam. Okay. Next MacBook. So today we have another MacBook with no power. This is an A1989. It's one of those newer MacBooks that I probably don't have a schematic or parts to. Let's see if we can figure out what's wrong with this MacBook and make it function again. What level of ESD protection would you recommend for the average person working on a computer? I would suggest that you probably touch something that's grounded before you work on it, and then continue touching it while you're working on it. Don't pet a kitten, or don't rub a balloon. Although that doesn't mean that you should not pet your kitten entirely. Every now and then you should stop what you're doing so that you can take time to pet a kitten. PP3V42 says, can we pet HiHi? No, you cannot pet HiHi. That is not what he is paid for. You can email HiHi about stream improvements, but you cannot pet HiHi. Do you do thermal paste replacement on MacBooks? I would suggest replacing your own thermal paste. Yes, we do. But it's not going to make a big, huge difference. It's at the end of the day, it is a MacBook. And being a MacBook, it will get hot. Okay, we have access to the inside of this MacBook now. Everybody say hello, MacBook. Hello, MacBook. MacBook. So, we're going to take out the battery, and once the battery has been unplugged, we're going to see how much amperage this takes on my USB-C amp meter. Remember, I want to see how much amperage the board is taking by itself, without everything else. So we take this, and we plug it into the MacBook. MacBook takes 5 volts at 240 milliamps and doesn't turn on. Why is MacBook taking 5 volts and not going up to 20? Remember, the MacBook is not a GoPro, nor is the MacBook an iPhone, an iPod, an Android, or any other sort of device that would expect 5 to 9 volts in charging. It is a device that wants 20 volts in charging. But right now, it's not telling the charger to put that out. The charger is putting out 5 volts, which can be told by this little USB-C amp meter that I've got sitting over here. And if you needed a USB-C amp meter, by the way, because you wanted to be able to tell what your MacBook is drawing, or any device with a USB-C port, head over to store.rossmangroup.com. On store.rossmangroup.com, we have USB-C amp meters for the low, low price of $10. Ship same business day from New York City. Free shipping on any order over $30 within the continental United States. It has no splash screen. The instant you apply power to this, it displays the voltage and the amp usage. Flip the screen with a double tap of a button. No more reading upside down. Simply double tap like this, and you can see where you are, and all the information is at a glance on one screen. You don't have to cycle between readings. Screen images are not even simulated. This is what the screen actually looks like. Everything you need to know. Voltage, amperage, direction of current flow. Some memory functions, time charging, and how many milliamp hours have been drawn are all here. And it even does the math for you and lets you know how much wattage you're using. The best thing about this meter, it's robust. Lewis has not broken one yet. What? Paul, who writes these item descriptions? Motherfucker. Lewis hasn't broken it yet. Asshole. But, yeah. If you want a USB-C amp meter like this, you can buy it at store.rossmangroup.com. Don't delay. Buy today. Now, here you go. Like I said, I was reading this and I didn't actually go through the whole thing. I was pretending that I had it memorized, and then I got the best thing about this meter. Lewis has not broken one yet. And I went, who writes these item descriptions? Who writes these item descriptions? I never break these little meters. Yeah, of course not. I'm very nice to all of my gear.
You broke your pluggable. The pluggable was a piece of crap.
Oh.
It wasn't even an aluminum shell.
I never break my instruments or my gear or my tools. They're all in good condition. They're all in good condition.
Did I just put my finger in flux?
Serves you right. There shouldn't be flux on there. Okay, maybe there's a little. No, that's. Oh, those are the pads that go over the screws. Actually, that's not flux. But yeah.
That's in good condition. It's round.
What?
It's no more hex. It's round.
It was a modification.
It's round.
What are you doing putting your screwdrivers in my desk?
Never mind. Never mind.
Leroy, I would highly... You can check out the video I did that goes through every single year in faults recently. The Buyer's Guide, where I tell you why that is the case. But, yeah. So this is taking 5 volts, 200 milliamps, and we have to get to the bottom of why that is. So let's get this board out of the computer and go from there. Time for us to do a mindless, drudgery, nonsense job of removing all the screws and putting them on a magnet. Blah. Is it common for a MacBook Pro 2013-14 to be missing a screw in the bottom case? No, it is not. It means that it was most likely opened or was beaten up so much that the screw managed to come loose and come out of the computer. I don't think either of them is particularly the best omen. Most likely it just got opened because somebody opened it to clean it or replace their battery or something, and they lost the screw because they didn't have a magnetic screwdriver or magnets on the ends of their screwdriver. Frankly, even when you do have a magnet on the end of the screwdriver, it's really easy to lose these screws. That's why I have so many spares, because I do lose them. I'm not perfect. I lose screws all the time. That's precisely why I have a bunch of spares lying around. Because if I didn't have spares lying around, well, you know, these things like to disappear. The fifth dimension is a fancy vacation, a traveling destination for MacBook screws. A little electric screwdriver would save you time. No, it wouldn't, actually. Nope, not a bit, not one bit, because I turn these things fast enough as is. It would save me, perhaps, muscle in my hands, but do you really think that this, like, do you think that that quarter of a millisecond is going to matter? No, not at all. And then you have the fact that there's different screws. This is like T5, T3, T5, T3. Oh, look, it's a Penelope. Remember that thing from E-Bomb's World, like, Badger, 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 mushroom, mushroom. It's the same thing opening up a MacBook. It's like T3, 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 T5, T5, T3, T5, T5, Penelope, Penelope. T3, T5, T3, T5, T5, T3, T5, T5, Pentalobe, Pentalobe. Oh, T8, T8, T8. Oh, it's a T8. T3, T5, T3, T5, T3, T5, Pentalobe, Pentalobe, Pentalobe. Oh no, it's a snake, snake. Oh, it's a snake. But seriously, that's not. Do you know how many of I'd have to have fucking 4 of these in front of me, or I'd be switching the bits of the screwdriver all the time to take anything apart, and then you'd waste more time on that. It's easy just to have this shit in front of me like it is. You don't need an electric screwdriver. You want a good screwdriver. You want a quality one that's not going to strip your screws, and you want a good set of magnets that are small but also strong, so that they fit on the end of your screwdriver, and the screws don't fall off of them. Because you'd be surprised. You can get magnets that are like this big that don't have the same power as these teeny tiny ones. Yes, I do, Ethereum. I record it dry, but I have a compressor and a limiter for the stream and an equalizer to get rid of the low ends, you know, like air conditioning rumble, stuff like that. That's going to wind up destroying people's subwoofers if I go pop, pop. And the compressor so that if I yell, hopefully I don't distort and make you totally deaf. Only partially deaf. But I don't really go crazy with it, since my stream assistant is, I don't know. Hi usually shows up in the weekend. He must be off, like, got a new girlfriend or something. Maybe a coke habit. Who knows? Maybe Hi became a crypto millionaire or something. Badger, 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 mushroom, mushroom. A badger, 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 mushroom, mushroom. T3, T5, T3, T5, T3, T5, T3, T5. T8, T8, oh, pentalobe, oh, pentalobe, oh, it's a pentalobe. It's a pentalobe that goes mushroom, 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 mushroom. Now, one of the things I like to do when I take this out, I like to keep the charge ports screwed into the machine. Because these are... It's not like the old MacBooks where it's a slide-in connector. This is an FPC connector, and the charging cable is... It's thick enough, and not... It's It's not. It's the opposite of flexible. The word is escaping me right now because I did not eat lunch in time, but I'm being an idiot and like losing my words in my English. But it's gonna pop the FPC connector off the board, so I like to have it screwed in there. Badger, 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 mushroom, mushroom. Badger, 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 mushroom, mushroom. Badger, 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 badger. Rigid, that's the word. Always trust a native-born Swede to have better English than a native-born New Yorker. Okay. Don't trust New York City public schools, where the students are high and the grades are low. Okay, so here we have the board. Now, if you take a look at this board, you'll see that the area where I imagine the charger is going to speak to the computer. That little USB-C communication controller chip looks corroded. Charge port looks corroded. Get some more light here. Other side of the board right by that is corroded. Now, one thing that's interesting about this model board is that this here, this is underfilled. This chip is underfilled, so I would meter I'm speaking. So since this is underfilled, I would not expect the corrosion to be a really big meter I'm speaking. So since this is underfilled, I would not expect this thing to be a really meter. One more time. One more time. One more. You mother fucking piece of shit. Oh, there's people watching. There's people watching. Oh, hi, meter. Oh, you're a good little multimeter. No, we'd never speak to you poorly. Good little meter. Good little meter. Good meter. Here. Let me pet you. Oh, it's a good little multimeter. You're a happy little multimeter, aren't you? Good little multimeter. Rock-a-bye meter on the treetop. We're very nice to our tools here at Rossman Repair. Don't listen to what Paul says. He's wrong. It's like Paul propaganda that we abuse tools. That's bullshit. Lewis hasn't broken one yet. Of course he hasn't broken it yet because he treats the tools with the respect that they deserve. I am a respectful man. Back to work. So, these chips are underfilled. And since they have underfill, I would not expect the liquid to get under them and hurt something. So I don't think the chip is actually bad. I think that the power rail supplying the chip may be bad, or it could be shorted to ground. It could be shorted to ground by corrosion on one of the capacitors by it. So we're going to explore that as an option in a moment. So let's see if that could be the case. We could just have corrosion on a C that is causing PP3V3_G3 hot to be low. Now I can't show you a schematic to this board because I don't have a schematic to an 820-00923. Nobody has emailed a schematic to lewis@rossmangroup.com for an 820-00923 yet. So I don't have a board view or a schematic for an 820-00923 because you've all done the Christian thing and not shared a schematic with me. Good citizen. You make sure Tim Cook gets what he wants. And so I'm going to use the schematic to an older model board to show you how this works. We're going to use the schematic to an 820-00239. And you may just learn something by viewing this older schematic. So here we have the older schematic. Older schematic. Now, let's take a look at that CD3215 chip. So, the CD3215 is going to be where the charger is going to be doing its speaking to the computer. So we have, let's just find a data line over here. That's going to be Here we go. So as you can see, data line charger speaks to CD3215. So therefore, CD3215 is what I'm going to be looking at first when my charger is putting out 5 volts instead of 20 volts, otherwise known on the older machines as having a green light versus not having a green light. On the old MacBooks, no green light, charge circuit not working. Green light, charge circuit working. Here, 5 volts is similar to no green light. 20 volts is similar to having a green light. Same general principle. No big deal. Now, if we take a look, the CD3215 chip here for this set of ports, U3200, is right here. Right here. And it's powered by the voltage that's going into the chip. Right here. We have voltage in. Typically on the top of the chip is where on a MacBook schematic, you'll find the voltages that are going into it. It's actually laid out quite nicely, I'll say. It's a little bit nicer than a lot of the PC schematics that you'll find out there. So this says V in 3V3. So I'm expecting PP3V3 underscore G3 hot to go into the chip and power it. So let's see if PP3V3 is powering this chip better than coffee is powering Paul Daniels. Now, that's quite a bit of corrosion there, isn't there? Here's a small contribution to a meal to make you happier, safer, and more productive. Thank you very much, Euripides. I don't think I necessarily deserve that, but I highly appreciate your $15. Hello, how are you?
Can you help me wipe an iPhone, like reset it to factory settings?
Yeah, let's see. Is it broken or it works?
It's my mom's old phone. It works fine, but we can't remember what the password is to wipe it.
Ah, okay. If you don't have the password, then that's a tricky one.
Well, it's off right now too. It's dead.
Let's see. Usually if you plug it into a computer at that point, if you don't have a passcode it'll allow you to wipe it, you just lose all the data.
I want to wipe the whole thing. I tried to.
What does it say?
My computer wasn't recognizing the phone. It was the weirdest thing.
That's strange.
Yeah.
The first thing is, you have to, if it's dead, it's going to take like 30 minutes to charge to turn on.
No.
About 20 to 30 minutes to charge.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, well, it's a long time.
If you want, you can charge it and come back tomorrow and ask for Paul, and he may be able to reset it.
I'll be on tomorrow. Let's see if...
Because we closed at 4, so.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
so you're closed already.
Technically, I just suck at closing and
I'm
putting
sorry.
up the sign.
That's
No
fine.
worries.
Okay, thank you.
I'm not gonna, no. I'll help you go through the phone, but you have to have it charged when you bring it here. You're not gonna wait here for 20 minutes while I'm streaming after closing. GTFO. And speaking of that GTFO, lock the door time. It's like, 'cause I'm gonna help you for free. That's cool. But like, if you want me to help you for free after hours, you gotta give a little to get a little. You know what I'm saying? Give a little. You're not dumping some phone on me that I have to. I also don't know how to actually do that because I don't fucking use an iPhone. I don't fucking use an iPhone. Like, if you throw your iPhone in the ocean and you know your passcode, I will fix it so that you can log into it. But if you need help with anything else, I don't know. I can't fucking do much there. It's like I'm gonna have to Google it and look it up and stop my stream. And I was even willing to do all that, but you didn't even bring it charged. Come on. And you know, if you have a phone that's an iPhone 5, not even a 7 or 6, like that's probably has its original battery. It's gonna take like 30 minutes to turn on after you plug it in. Ugh. No. If the store closes, customer service goes down to 0%. Not 0. I would say like closer to, but it goes down considerably. Okay. I'll help you, but you gotta help yourself a little bit. Give me something to go with. Okay. So, PP3V3 is 3.4 volts. You can't see that, though, due to Paul Daniels' software. But now you'll maybe able to see it. Nope, you still can't, actually. Wow. Paul Daniels' software. Okay, let's try a third time. There we go, 3.4 volts. That's amperage from the power supply, but I'm not using the power supply right now, so I should actually turn that off. Yeah, that should not be there. We close window. Exit, yeah, since we're not using that at the moment. So we have 3.4 volts here. Okay. But we're still getting 5 volts. So PP3V3 underscore G3 hot is present. So those chips are being powered, but I would imagine that the chips that have this serious corrosion by them are not necessarily working the way they're supposed to. Now, you can't reflow an underfilled chip. That's not going to go well. Reflowing an underfilled chip is going to go very poorly. So I'll clean up this area just a little bit. Yeah, I'm going to try to not heat up the underfill too much, but just give a little bit of cleaning. I got a resistor there that looks a little funky. Let's see if you're for something important. It looks better in the microscope camera than it actually does for me. But the thing is, I can't see what that's for, because that's for an 820-009C3 board that I don't have a schematic for. Mystery resistor. So let's see if I resolder it a little bit. Paul, do you have a schematic for an 820-00923? That board is 2 years old now. We gotta eventually catch up and get some schematics for these. Oh. Devin says he sent me an email relevant to this repair. Oh boy. You sent me an 820-00239 schematic. But I don't have I need an 820-00923. But that's a different number. 820-00239 is a different number than 820-00923. You may have noticed that I'm actually using an 820-00-239 schematic at this very moment, actually. That is exactly what we are looking at right now. So, yeah. No. Don't know what to say there. Okay. So... Now let's see if there's anything we can make nice up here. Why does Hi have a Johnson City, Tennessee area code? Hi, what are you doing? You madman. Do not send Lewis an 820-00923 schematic. Do not email Lewis an 820-00923 schematic. Do not email Lewis an 820-00923 schematic. That would be wrong. Don't do it. Don't do it, folks. Still 5 volts. No good. Let's see what the other side looks like. CD3215 looks pleasant. That one also looks pleasant. You have a public key, Lewis. I do not have a public key. Fortunately, no. Alright, so we're going to remove that underfilled chip. Try and remove the underfill from the underfilled chip. And then once that's done, replace it with a better one. Whoa. A lot of the underfill actually came off with the chip there. That's pretty nice. My sleep sensor flew away, as did my little connector, so I'll put that stuff back. No big deal. Matt says, what was the board number? 820-00923. Have you ever failed to fix a MacBook? Have you ever failed to make a basket? Have you ever failed to hit a home run? Have you ever failed to aim properly at the toilet, leaving feces on the sides of the public toilet? How small are those hot tweezers? Can I get a shot of them not close up, please? Sure, absolutely. This is my hand. These are my tweezers.
Hi, Sarah. How are you doing today? I'm Tweezer.
Okay. Now let's make sure that we are ready to put a CD3215 down. Now we're going to wick our pads, Jessa Jones style. Wick is actually this wick is really good at getting rid of underfill. And the thing I like about Goot Wick, available at store.rawsomgroup.com, don't delay, buy today, is that it has its own kind of flux built into it. So it slides very nicely. Okay, let's see. I lost one little pad here. I'm curious how important that is. Hoping it's to something that's not connected. With any luck, it'll be to something that is not connected. But I can see on the board view, even though this is a board view for an older board, it's still going to give me information that's relevant. Because the chip, I mean, it's the same chip pretty much, so. Let's see, the pad that I ripped is the 6th on the bottom. And according to the schematic and board view, that is not connected, so I don't have to care. That's also why it came off easier. You may notice that pads that are not connected to anything come off very easily. Hey, there's another pad that I knocked off, but that actually looks like it is... Uh-oh. TP UPC XB SWD data. Do you still sell Mr. Clinton's shirt? Yes, it's somewhere on my website, but I haven't really prominently featured it. Okay. Where does that go? That doesn't seem like it goes anywhere. Okay, so I ripped off a point on the board that goes to nothing. It genuinely goes to nothing. Yeah, the point that I ripped off might as well just be not connected. You'll notice that the pads that don't actually go to anything, they are not really attached by much. Thank you very much, C80. I hardly think I deserve as much praise as you're giving, but I appreciate it anyway. Okay. Alright. So that underfill is pretty much gone. That was actually a really nice removal. Even though there were pieces that came off, like the connector, I'd honestly rather the connector fall off and I resolder it than have to take off a bunch of underfill. So this is about ready for application of a new chip. And if you need a new chip, if you need a new CD3215, you probably know where I'm going at this point. You don't even have to really predict, but you know that what I'm going for. You know that what I'm about to show is store.rossmangroup.com. It's the right CD3215. It's not the BO3 that doesn't work. It's the COO. Ah, I got ripped off so bad from all these vendors selling the BO3 as the COO. And then torturing myself, wondering why none of this shit was working. That made me want to cry in the beginning. Alright, so I'm going to take two because I'm probably going to need to replace two CD3215s on this board. And then when I do, I'll have a happy little working MacBook. A happy working MacBook. Imagine that. Well, that and I have to reconnect the sleep sensor that I knocked off. Because I'm an idiot. But... take some... Okay. Now, I was on vacation for a while, and since I was on vacation, we gotta make up for some improper practices that were going on while I was away. I'm not talking about Anel and Camille streaming drunk. We took care of that already. That's been dealt with. What I'm talking about... Thank you very much, Lazy Robot. That's very kind of you. I'm talking about the improper flux. These guys, while I was away, were not using the right amount of flux. And it made me effing sick. So, now we have the right amount of flux. Gonna flow that chip on. No, nice fucking try. You're not running nowhere. Okay, maybe you're... Stop it. Stop it. Bad chip. Bad. It's almost like I put too much flux or something. Alright, so if you use too much flux, one of the things you're gonna have to do is slowly preheat. and then you move it in close, and then you'll see it drops into place. Bada bing. And also I gotta flow this little transistor back into place. Bottom right. There was a capacitor up there, but that's not a big importance right now. There was a screw grommet. That's kind of sort of important. We're going to put the screw grommet back where it's supposed to go. Remember, when you make mistakes, you need to, like, what are you making a mistake on? Did you overheat NAND, or did you knock off a screw hole grommet? Knocking off a screw grommet, know what you can get away with, and if you're taking risks, know what the risks are that you're taking. Like, would I care if I'm taking a risk of knocking off a little screw grommet I could put back on? No big deal. Would I ever take a risk where there's a chance of killing NAND or something like that? No way in hell. Okay. Five volts, 20 milliamps. 5 volts, 20 milliamps. Okay, now we go to the other side of the board and go for the other CD3215 that looked disgusting. Remember, this one had corrosion by it as well. Oh, come on. You're gonna have to come off the board. Sorry though, CD3215. Someone said, what is the QR code on the board? Maybe it reveals the schematic. Yeah, I'm sure it does. I'm sure Tim Cook threw that in there as an Easter egg. Tim Cook is known for throwing in Easter eggs that show you how the machines are put together and designed. That's top tier feature. Okay. Lift. Uh-oh. Keep heat there. Pull. Ugh. Okay, a cap went missing. No big deal. It's not a major one. Just a bypass cap. All kinds. Listen to the drama queens. One capacitor leaves, and we... all kinds of damage. Yes, we ripped the same not connected pad that came off last time. No big deal. Chillax. Breathe in. Breathe out. Chillax. Chillax. Status of microscopes. Are people really, like, no, they're not here yet. I don't have status. They're on a boat. Status is they're on a boat. What? They're on a boat. There's something, once you've been doing this for long enough, there's something triggering about the word status. It gives you nightmares. Okay. Huh. Okay, let's take a look at my board view. One, two, three. Okay, we have a not connected pad missing on the top. We have a debug pad missing on the side. That debug pad goes to... Okay, that may actually be somewhat important. Debug pert. Maybe kinda sorta. And we have... What are we missing here? That may be important. Wait, nope, it's not. It goes literally nowhere. Okay, so that missing pad is for something that actually goes nowhere. So we have only one that's really on the important side of things. Ideally, you aim to rip none, but such is life. Okay, we're going to heat that up and then use some alcohol. There's no knife in the desk, so I'm going to go back to using tweezers, which I shouldn't be doing. I swore off of this. How did the Bafang controller work out? It's actually spinning now. Now I just have to hardwire it to always be on front drive. And wire it up to bike number 2. I'd like to have Bafang number 2. Thank you very much, by the way. I'd like to have a spare one. Like one that's stable and one that is the one that I mess with and try crazy things on. These two both don't go anywhere, so I don't have to care about those ones. You'll notice that the pads that don't actually go to anything are the ones that come off immediately. You really only have to care when the pads that come off actually go to something. But the thing is, the pads that go to something, since they're attached to something inside the board, they're more... It's not like they're just attached with Elmer's glue. They're actually there with something. You know, there's some thermal mass. That is going to keep them there and around. Why are the pads there to begin with? Because they are. Because they are. To keep the chip secure, I suppose. To make the chip feel happy and safe and warm on the inside. Ah, I just burned my finger on the damn hot tweezers. That was painful. Owie. Ow, 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 ow. Burning down some more underfill over here. I am scraping off underfill. But I'm trying not to scrape off this pad on the top with me, and that's not going according to plan. Alright, that's good. Alright. New CD3215. Pads on the right are important. XASBU. Well then. XASBU and debug. Let's see. Do we have anything under there to dig for? Is there a nub? Do we have a nub? Doesn't matter how many exactos I get on my desk, they're always gone. And I'm back to scraping with a pair of tweezers. That's the thing, those signals don't sound like something I would... There's nothing under here. Well, I should just get an X-Acto knife. Are there any more X-Actos, or should I just use a box cutter?
Blade? Yeah, we have.
I don't have any. I don't have a knife, a blade, a holder.
What? You had like 5 of them.
No,
I bought you a pack of 5.
I had 0.
No, no.
There's no knife up there.
No way.
I use box cutter.
There's no way that there's no knife in there.
Okay, we go with box cutter. It's,
Take an entire pack of 5.
I'm gonna use the cattle prod.
That's a knife.
Let's see. So we
Until it gets through.
take a. Oh shit! I'm not at the computer. Let's see. What does the hollow part of your iron help with? It absorbs solder when you're wicking.
X-Acto knife.
Oh, I didn't.
X-Acto knife.
They're in front of me.
X-Acto knife.
I've been ignoring this because I didn't know what it was. My eyes kind of thought it was just part of mess. Thank you, Paul. And now we dig and we see what's under there. Need micro pencil. Stfu, HAKKO, Stfu. STFU. Are you really going to tell me that the thermal mass in that one little data point is so high that I can't tin it with my friggin' iron? Wait a second. Of course it is, because that's probably ground. Well, one way to find out, I suppose. Please tell me that's not ground. Please don't be ground. It would really suck if you were ground. Don't be ground. Don't be ground, don't be ground, don't be ground. Don't be ground. No, you're ground. You're so grounded. You're ground. You're fucking ground. You're ground, you're ground, you're ground. Of course it is. You fucking piece of shit. You fucking piece of shit, MacBook. Well then. How was vacation? You smuggle parts back to save MacBook. I did not smuggle anything, no. Okay, luckily that goes to this stupid little diode over here. Wait, no, does it go to the diode over here? Oh, it goes to this. Okay, let's see. No, that's the pad that I'm... So that goes to the diode on the other side of the fucking board. Really? Oh god, and those diodes are miserable to get to as well. Holy mother of Sukabalat. So that would be the third one over here. How the fuck you getting a wire to that thing? That's a diode to ground. That's a debug pin. Do I really need a debug pin? Oh, this also is not the correct board schematic. But no, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's the correct board schematic because it's the same chip. So if it's the same chip and it's oriented the same way, then it's going to be the same effing signal. But you're right that I don't know if it goes to that fucking diode. But it's the same 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's pretty much the same. I can assume that this is mostly the same. The thing is, what, running 2 wires under this? Oh, yeah, that's not happening. That's not happening. Absolutely not happening. So, not today. Not like this. Customer doesn't need their debug. Get the fuck out of here. You're not debugging your CD3215 through. You're not debugging your CD3215. Nope. You're not debugging your CD3215 over USB-C. Okay. That's... What are you gonna do? Not one of my final moments. And the one next to it is ground as well. Oh, that's fucking lame. Okay, well we gotta green over that because that's ground. But I want you to debug my CD3215. Go to Apple Store. Apple Store has all the CD3215 debugging you need, my friend. Okay, so we're gonna use a little bit of this shit. This green conformal coating shit. Uh-oh. It's exploding out of the tube. Okay, now don't look, because this is UV light. Don't look, it's not good for you. So I'm actually looking at my computer screen microscope camera when I do this. Not the light itself. UV light is bad for people. Okay. Yes, you're all blind. You're blind now. What you gonna do? Sue me. Okay. Debug. So those two are debug. You don't go anywhere. And you don't fucking go anywhere. So the only thing that this person's going to be missing is debug. They can't debug their CD3215 over USB-C. You know what? You can hate me. I'll live with it. Such is life. Oh wow, that is a terrible camera angle. That is terrible lighting. The sun is hitting me right in the face. But anyway. So this customer, because of Lewis, is finally getting the level of repair that for the past 10 years people have been accusing us of offering. Shoddy. Some features may not be as they were before. I used to be able to debug my USB-C CD3215 chip over USB-C, and now I can't. Ah! I should have went to an authorized repair center. Oh well. The injustice. The ever-loving injustice. Gez, stop yelling. Major lifts is that poor customer. He's a PhD student with his entire thesis riding on the ability to debug the CD3215 of his MacBook. Now everybody in the chat wants to debug their CD3215 over USB-C. You would, wouldn't you? You want your MacBook to stop charging just so that you can debug it over USB-C. Ignacio says top pad. Yeah, but top pad doesn't actually go to anything important. We've already established. Those are not even connected. Look, see this? Not connected. Not connected. NC means not connected. That's even less important than debug. Oh, somebody needs to debug a CD3215, genuine question. Probably so that you could tell which of the four is the bad one. So that you don't have to replace one by one individually and guess. Eeny, meeny, miny, moe it. It's the pad at the top that's missing now. Holy crap, does anybody pay attention to the fucking stream? OMG. Now my goddamn cat is homeless. Your fucking stupidity has killed me. Not connected. Not connected. Two on top are missing. The other pad came off, somebody said. Let's rewind. Let's rewind. We will rewind. Because I don't know what the other one is. Oh shit. Oh shit. I ripped the other one, didn't I? The one to the left, you mean? Some specificity would be helpful. Okay, so the one to the left. Let's see, what did I rip? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I ripped USB power enable. See, that's important. That's fucking important. So we have to fix that. But first, let's see if I at least get 20 volts, anything like that. We still get 5 volts. Now I wonder if that pad is the reason. Is that Thunderbolt power enable as in for powering external devices? Or is that Thunderbolt power enable as in just talking to the chip and getting a proper result out of it, kind of thing. Either way, let's take a look. No camera switch. Yeah. Did my pad come back? Oh my god, I removed the wrong chip. Okay, you know what? Fuck it. I'm done. Today is not my day. Today is not my fucking day. I removed the wrong chip. Oh, damn. This is a clusterfuck. Wow. I'm out of my element here. I was wondering, huh? The pads that I ripped are no longer ripped! Wow! What a great engineer I am! My MacBook's it just recreated itself! Look at that! Go drunk, you're home. Yeah. Go drunk, you're home. You sure you didn't get some kind of brainworm from that Airbnb? Yeah, I have to get checked for brainworms, actually. That's a good idea. Still haven't got my money back from that yet. Filed my claim with Airbnb, and because I trust modern day, we have no customer service startups, but we have algorithm startups and modern platform startups so much, I filed the chargeback as well. We'll see how that goes. Alright, let's make a little hook in there. It's not up and to the left. Okay, look. See? Watch this. Not connected pin 6. Connected pin 5. Not connected pin 6. Not connected pin 5. Now, we have a via right next to that. Where do you think that goes? Do you think that that was going to here, the connected part, or to the not connected part? If you had a guess. Also, I put a little bit too much green shit over there. Let's clean off the excess green shit. Yeah, boo. Today is not my day. Today is not my day. I have days where I sit here and I blaze through a bunch of boards and I fix a bunch of fuck-ups. And today I am the fuck-up. I want that green shit. Well, you can get it at store.rossmangroup.com. We'll run a second wire. You're my hero, even if you never win a race. Thank you, JP. I don't think I deserve to be anybody's hero, but I feel like quite the failure at the moment. Let's get this to working. Ah, this is such a pain in the dick. Ah, there's still underfill under here. Get the fuck out of here. Is there a video on the difference between hot air and a soldering iron? I don't have one. A hot air station blows hot air. A soldering iron is like an iron. And I'm sure there's somebody else who's done a video on it. I don't believe I have ever done a video on that. You use a hot air station for air, and use a soldering iron when you need to solder something by touching it directly. So like soldering a BGA chip, obviously you can't do that with an iron because you can't make contact with it. you know, the solder joints are all under the chip. So they use hot air. Okay, let's put 2 chips on. So now, the only things that are of an issue under this chip, the only things that have an issue under that chip are debug pads. And debug is not something that I believe is important here. You know, it's... I dropped my CD3215. It almost went right into the garbage can. That was funny. Oh man, today is not my day. Well, let's get it made into my day. I refuse to believe that today is not my day. I refuse to accept it. Today is going to be made into my day. I'm going to own today. I'm going to have intellectual property rights to today. Today is going to be made my bitch. Let's go. Alright. I will not let today get the best of me. Even if I don't have an 820-00923 schematic. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. It would be really nice if I had an 820-00923 schematic. Someone said someone, don't know if this is reliable, but someone is selling it for $30. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's your website. Isn't it, Erica? Erica just emailed me a link to this. Yeah, this is probably her website. I'm going to put my credit card info here. It's going to wind up in the dark web. Yeah, I'm not sure how much I trust that. What do you suggest for a healthy fruit juice? You know, banana juice, mango juice, strawberry juice, berry juice, blueberry, cyberry juice, green juice. Many different types of juices with all different types of fruits that I think are good for you. Grape juice, really? Grape juice, I think, would be a good one. Cherry. There's all different types of juices I could say I recommend. I don't know. I just don't know how much I trust this this Erica figure that emailed me a schematic link. Seems kind of shady. That's not as fast as my Bafang. I use a T30-KN tip in the micro pencil that you can find affiliate link below because I'm a big shill. Is that capacitor shorted? It's not. Okay. This is a good looking charge port. This looks like a fine charge port. Cap over there that could look nicer, but I don't know what the hell it's for. There's no schematic. You're in a problem with chips popcorning. No, not really. You're not going to have popcorning. Usually popcorning is an issue you're going to have with large flip chip BGAs, but it's also an issue you're going to have if you're heating way too fast, you're not preheating. Several things that can cause that. Yeah, that cap looks like shit. You got to get off my board. But I'm kind of curious if that cap was what was causing it all along or not. And the only way I'm going to know is if I plug it in now and then I plug it in after removing that cap. So let's say we have 5 volts at 300 milliamps. Let's try the other port. 5 volts at, you can't see. 5 volts, 140 milliamps. Not much change going on there. And it's stuck at 5. Okay, what else do we have here? So let's knock that piece of shit off. Okay, I just knocked the cap off. Sorry, I forgot to switch the camera. Oh boy, red probe points around that thing doesn't look nice. There's also quite a bit of corrosion over here. I wonder if we have a short circuit anywhere over here. No. Very surprisingly, no. Super surprisingly, no. And on the other side, we're getting the same thing. 5 volts, 400 milliamps. 400 is not something I'm used to. That's strange. That's very strange. 400 milli. It's not supposed to take that much. What could it mean? It could mean that Lewis needs to get his burrito and get the fuck out of here. It could mean that I need to check certain resistors that could be bad that I don't have schematics for. Like that second resistor from the right looks like shit. What value is it? Actually, wait a sec. That's not even... That was not even soldered there. Okay. How can we guess what that resistor is for? That looks like a pull down. It looks like that's attached to ground, actually. So that would not matter much, because a pull down to ground is not going to cause entire circuit to be funky. Let's see. No, maybe that's an important one. Well, it could be important, it could not be important. Hell if I got a way of knowing. Do we have a schematic to an 820-00923? Because this is going to be something where I have to take the fucking chip off again. Measure where that resistor goes to, see what that pin is for on the old board, and then, oh god, that's awful. Six, 160 milliamps. Interesting. One port takes 400 milliamps, and the other port takes 160 milliamps. Okay, time for Lewis to get a burrito. Time to call it a day. This day has won. You happy day? You kick my ass. But tomorrow, I'm coming back, and I'm gonna fuck this board up. I'm gonna win. But yeah, tomorrow. I need to get some food. See you all in the next one. Sorry it wasn't really much of a good stream. But as Kevin would say, it do be like that sometimes.